evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. You're watching Trending Tonight with me, Sanket Upadhyay. This is the only show on primetime Indian television where we care to explain the news behind the trend. Unfortunately, the story that was trending today was not a happy one and an absolutely sad one. And in many ways, history repeated itself. Can we ensure that this far and no further, and the history does not repeat itself completely? That's the focus of this show. Over the next 30 minutes, we are going to talk about this. Vizag gas leak deaths is going to be our focus on this show, where we are going to ask very simple questions. Do not forgive and do not forget all those people. Do not forget this incident and do not forgive those who are guilty, who are responsible for it. Because this is nothing short of a criminal negligence. This is an absolute case of criminal negligence, ladies and gentlemen, and it has to be seen exactly in the same way. Vizag 2020 is a reminder of Bhopal 1984. 35 years later, history has repeated itself, though not in the same magnitude, but still, even one death is one too many. Will the guilty be acted upon? And we cannot repeat the injustice of Bhopal in Vizag. We have to make sure that the injustice of Bhopal is not repeated in Vizag. Let's now quickly see why we are constantly comparing it to Bhopal. Both these incidents happened late into the night. Bhopal 1984, pardon us saying 1884, it was 1984, and Vizag 2020. So both incidents happened late at night, both owned by foreign companies. Let's quickly put those graphics. Let's put those graphics. Both plants were owned by foreign firms. In fact, hundreds were affected in Bhopal. Hundreds were affected in Vizag as well, though the number of deaths is far lower as of this moment when you compare it to Bhopal, and were both caused by lapses, negligence. Now let's quickly tell you what Bhopal 1984 is trying to tell Vizag 2020. This is very, very significant. Bhopal has seen it all. And with the help of this presentation, Bhopal will tell Vizag what to watch out for. What happened with Bhopal 1984 should not repeat in Vizag 2020. Because even after 35 years, the civil and the criminal case in 1984 Bhopal is still on. It is still on. The legal battle is still on, 35 long years. Just make sure that this does not happen to Vizag. Let's quickly take a look at the next. Not treating this as a criminal negligence amounting to murder. You speak to activists, you speak to victims of 1984, they say that the charges were watered down to a point where it almost became like any other little petty crime, instead of a case of criminal negligence amounting to murder. Long-term consequences, and again this is very important, long-term consequences of inhaling poisonous gas on the people beyond just death. Bhopal is telling Vizag, be worried about this, because this is exactly what happened in Bhopal. Many people thought, oh, death toll, fine. But there were long-term impact. There was a long-term impact. What was it? Even today, people in Bhopal are suffering from unknown genetic problems. And there is research which is still going on. People do not know why or what has caused this. And can the gases cause the same? The gas in the case of the styrene gas in the case of Vizag, can it have the same impact as the gas in Bhopal had? Next point. The exact composition of gases consumed is not studied properly even now. We are talking about Bhopal. Do we know enough about Vizag? Can authorities very confidently say that styrene gas will not stay in the body for very long? How do we know? What if there is some other composition? Have we studied it before we are saying that no, nothing else will happen, only this much damage and no further? Next point, and this is very, very significant. MNCs were controlling both these companies. MNC has, in the case of Bhopal, had a distance approach, control from distance approach. They were access controlling the company, which means that for every little thing, you will have to seek permission from the main company, the international, from the headquarters. But when something goes wrong, They control everything remotely. When something goes wrong, they will blame their local office. This happened in Bhopal. Will we make sure that this does not repeat itself in Vizag? A very pertinent question. Next, very significant, absolute attempt to absolve themselves from any responsibility, as we have just discussed. And last and the most important point, the casualization of labor, where trained labor force were replaced with cheaper, untrained labor. Now we know, you speak to activists and they will tell you that Bhopal saw this. Now I'm not passing any judgment, but let us just hope that in an investigation we are able to find out that the same did not happen in Vizag. And if this did, then this is criminal negligence. Will we punish all those people for their criminal negligence? Because we have examples from history to learn from. Let's quickly play out this exclusive conversation that my colleague Uma Sudhir had with Minister of State for Home, Mr. G. Kishan Reddy.
You were going to send a flight from Delhi to Visakhapatnam that is actually meant to help seal finally the leakage that has happened. What really is happening, sir?
Yeah, that is correct. But flight is starting from Daman. Daman. They will. My people will take 500 kg chemical, that is PTBC. They will collect the chemical. From there, the flight will go to the Pune. Pune, there is a NDRF chemical experts. There is special teams is there for NDRF. NDRF, there is a alag teams will be there. There is a chemical experts in Nagpur and Pune. There is a NDRF chemical experts is there. They will collect the persons from Pune and Nagpur. Via Nagpur, flight will reach night 10 o'clock to Visakhapatnam. Okay. Then, along with in presence of my chemical experts, they will seal the LG Polymers India. Is a chemical leakage. First they will do that is the thing.
So only after they seal, the people who are actually in that area, who have all been evacuated by you, only then they will be able to return home.
Yeah, because the LG Polymers people also, these employees, officers also, they are telling, before this company total sealed, people should not come. They are not giving confidence to the people. Even state administration, they are not giving confidence to the administration, these company people.
All right, so let's quickly tell you and show you these pictures. Remember, before we kickstart our discussion and get in the experts, you have to look at these pictures. Perhaps we do not have videos from 1984 which we can play out just at this moment, but when you look at Vizag 2020 and when you look at these pictures, I mean, they were extremely distressing pictures. Some of the pictures we are not even playing at this moment, where people are standing outside the hospital and a girl collapses. Then you've got another picture of people on a bicycle, on a motorcycle, and they've just collapsed on the road. Children collapsed, perhaps dead. All those pictures have been coming in all through the day and absolutely distressing, these pictures. This is from earlier in the day, early in the morning. It is so disturbing. So just make sure, Vizag, that you learn from the sufferings of Bhopal for the past 35 years and not make those same mistakes. Look at that picture of that lady standing and collapses. This deadly gas is a result of someone's criminal negligence. Don't let them go away. That is why I say, don't forgive, don't forget. Let's quickly play out this story to put everything in perspective. What happened through the course of the day? What was that gas? All of that explained by my colleague Uma Sudhir.
Disturbing visuals of men, women and children fainting, lying motionless on the roads in Visakhapatnam after toxic gas styrene leaked out of the LG Polymers unit in the early hours of Wednesday. Emergency rescue teams moved affected people into ambulances and hospitals. The police and National Disaster Response Force even broke into homes, worried that people may be lying inside, asphyxiated and unconscious.
Gas has been neutralized and now NDRF team also reached. They are doing door-to-door search.
Inhalation, say, it can cause mucosal irritation, it can lead to breathing difficulty, and if the inhalation is at a higher level, it can lead to breathlessness and respiratory distress.
But why was there a leak? Preliminary reports suggest the failure of a valve may have caused the leak. Investigators say this is what may have happened. After 40 days of lockdown, there was possibly self-polymerization of styrene that may have choked a pipe. Styrene has to be maintained at less than 20 degrees, but refrigerants may have failed, leading to buildup of gas pressure and the leakage.
Which is going through the maintenance, has handled a little valve, and which caused the vapors to emit out of their silo, which is carrying the gas by name styrene, cause irritation, redness of eyes, shortness of breath, vomitings and nausea and asphyxia.
Chief Minister Jagan Mohan Reddy has announced 1 crore rupees to families of those who passed away, 10 lakh to those put on ventilator, 1 lakh to those who needed hospital care, and 10,000 rupees to the 15,000 families around the area. The Vizag gas leak accident has important lessons for industrial units, especially the chemical industries that are just coming out of lockdown. Safety experts point out that a pre-start or pre-commissioning safety audit should be made mandatory before operations begin. With inputs from Visakhapatnam, with camera person Nagraju, Uma Sudhir, NDTV.
Okay, let me now introduce our guest this evening for a short discussion. Satynath Sarangi, you're a Bhopal gas tragedy activist. Mr. Desh Ratan Nigam now joins us. He's a noted lawyer and a political analyst. And Mr. Kutum Rao, advisor to Chandrababu Naidu and also the former vice chairman of AP State Planning. Thank you so much to all of you all. Mr. Kutum Rao, let me begin with you. You have seen it all in this state. Do you think what in your since you were advisor to the former chief minister, let's just say if you were to advise the present day chief minister, what would that be?
It's a very unfortunate incident which has taken place in Visakhapatnam. Just in disaster which has taken lives of several people. But if we go into the background of this issue also, the company LG Polymers is a very old company. It was started as Hindustan Polymers as early as 1965. Then it was taken over by McDowell's and then sold by McDowell's to LG Group. Then several changes have happened. And they stopped manufacturing styrene from alcohol also and changed their production process and importing the raw material and everything. And if you go to the clearances of environmental, post Bhopal gas tragedy, when Supreme Court orders and everything has come for formation of Environment Protection Authority, which has not been done by Indian government till now. But only impact assessments are being done by the ABS, that is Ministry of Environment and Forest.
Significant.
We can see that the first clearance for this company after that act has come was in 2007. 8/5/2007, 8th May 2007. And then the second clearance was given in 19 January 2017. And then the company has made an application for expansion also. For the expansion, the state level expert appraisal committee made some objections.
Okay.
Because and these objections were not answered till an exhibit was filed by the company in 2019. And now what has happened is this factory, when it was established, it was far outside the city of Visakhapatnam. But now it has become part and parcel of Visakhapatnam. And it needs to be shifted from the present place.
Okay, okay, fair enough.
Small disaster also.
So interesting points that you have shared at this moment. Obviously, your political opponents, and it's a tragedy that we could not be joined in by Mr. M. Gautam Reddy, Minister of Industries and Commerce, Information Technology of the Government of Andhra Pradesh. He was supposed to join us, but I believe that he has a meeting with the South Korean embassy executives. Of course, this is going to become a big issue, something that the state government must be doing. So apologize to our viewers for not being able to get the Government of Andhra Pradesh version. We had invited them. It's they who have understandably become busy. Let me come to you, Mr. Satynath Sarangi. Your experience, and by the way, I would want to give you due credit because most of the things that we have read out in the form of a presentation of what Vizag must learn from Bhopal have actually come from you. It's your experience. So let me ask you one by one. You know, the point on the legal battle, Mr. Sarangi, 35 long years.
Yeah, it is that, firstly, even till today, nobody has been held criminally liable. No corporation and no corporate individual has been held liable criminally. No gas victim has got adequate compensation. You know, 93% of the gas victims have just received 25,000 rupees for a lifetime of suffering. I think this should not happen in Visakhapatnam. That a corporation or individual responsible must be held criminally accountable, must be held criminally liable, criminally punished, and there has to be, people have to be adequately compensated.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Sarangi, very quickly the next point, and before I come to the next point, let me bring in for a bit of legal advice Mr. Desh Ratan Nigam. Mr. Nigam, 35-year long legal battle which is still going on in the courts, in the Supreme Court now. What do you think can be learnt by Vizag from the mistakes, or what should I say, the struggle of Bhopal?
See, the fact is Bhopal case did not go on expected lines, and there were enough delays, and we have seen the suffering of the common people there. However, the law is very clear on the subject. If the gas leaks from a premises, the vicarious liability concept as laid down in MC Mehta's case is very clear that the company will be responsible for it. However, so far as criminal prosecution is concerned, one has to clearly establish the criminal negligence in operating the plant. However, so far as compensation and other things are concerned, MC Mehta is very, very clear that it is the LG company which is responsible for the gas leak, because it leaked from their premises.
Okay.
So the law is very clear on the subject.
Law is very clear. Okay.
They have to give.
But the victims of Bhopal and activists often say that what happened in the case of 1984 Bhopal was that the charges were watered down. Mr. Sarangi, would you like to tell us about this? I mean, you may impose very strict charges right now, but then over the years, when this issue is not in the public limelight, you water down the charges. Mr. Sarangi, your experience.
Yeah, that is what happened in Bhopal. First of all, instead of charging them with murder, IPC section 300 clause 4, what they were charged were with death with manslaughter, that is non-intentional, causing death non-intentionally. And finally, it got reduced to just a negligence, which means like a traffic accident. So the world's worst industrial disaster was converted into a traffic accident. That's how the charges were diluted.
Let's hope this does not happen. Mr. Kutum Rao, would you urge that the government of Andhra Pradesh, see, we have practical experience from the sufferings of people in 1984 Bhopal. They're still fighting those cases. And among the biggest concerns that they have, concern or suffering, is the fact that the charges have been watered down. As Mr. Sarangi says, down to almost like a traffic accident. Do you think that the government must make sure this does not happen in Vizag?
No, what Mr. Sarangi has said, he was bang on point, because the charges which have been framed in Visakhapatnam incident also are under section 278, 284, 285, 337, 338 and 314. Ultimately, most of these sections are cognizable offences, but definitely bailable also. Therefore, there is a clear possibility that the case may be watered down in future if the company comes out for a consent settlement or something like that, which should not happen, because a disaster like this can recur anytime if we are lenient enough on the present company.
Absolutely. Also. So no leniency. And we'll expect that whether it is the government, see, because governments of the day have a tendency, they have a tendency of perhaps giving in or going for negotiations. We have seen this in the past. We have seen many examples of this in our country. But perhaps pressure from all sides will make sure that this does not happen. I'm not casting aspersions, but I'm just saying let's learn from what has happened in Bhopal and make sure it does not repeat itself. Now, my next point, Mr. Sarangi, is also very, very significant. the government at this moment, or doctors at this moment, say that styrene gas is, it gets dissolved in the body. The effect is acute, but it is not spread across a large period of time. That's the issues that we know of, read in newspapers, in various journals, that we know of styrene gas. Now, I want to know from you, Mr. Sarangi, what is your experience? Was the same said of the gas in 1984?
Exactly.
The same thing.
The company said it is just like a potent tear gas. And again, the government had no idea what it was. I think a similar thing is happening here, because the WHO's International Agency for Research on Cancer, IARC, has quite clearly categorized styrene as a potential human carcinogen. So it is likely to cause cancers in humans. That's what the highest authority in health is telling you. There are research.
No, one moment, Mr. Sarangi. Are you trying to say that back in the day, methyl isocyanate was also called a weak gas, something that will not stay in the body forever, that will not have a long-term impact? Because the same argument has been given right now for styrene.
Union Carbide actually got specialists to say that they got saying that it is like a potent tear gas, and within the month they were saying already the effects are wearing out, already people are getting better.
And what did we see? We saw long-term genetic disorders in people in Bhopal.
We see effect in the next generation. We are finding
Mr. Deshratan Nigam,
born with birth defects.
Mr. Deshratan Nigam, how should one deal with this, and what role can a central government play?
See, the fact remains that this incident requires a thorough investigation. Even sabotage cannot be ruled out. Therefore, once you establish the negligence part of it, if there has been intentional negligence, these consequences are very grave. Yes, there are long-term effects, and one requires medical, evidence on record, so that the compensation amount can be increased accordingly. If it is going to the next generation or further generations, those aspects have to be taken into account, and that will affect the quantum of compensation to be granted. And therefore, this is where the combined team of central and state governments, because state governments, may not have that kind of an expertise, and central government does have a lot of expertise in these, and the central institutions are there, and therefore we require a combined effort to investigate this.
My final round of questions for all the panelists, and we'll begin with you, Mr. Kutum Rao. Mr. Sarangi feels that in 1984 Bhopal and subsequently, the reason why 1984 Bhopal happened, he claims, is because Union Carbide decided to replace trained workforce with untrained, unskilled workforce because they came in cheap. It made commercial sense, and we saw the fallout of that decision. Now, he claims the same could perhaps be happening in other factories as well. Do you think that a thorough investigation should be carried out so that the same may not have happened here?
Definitely, a thorough investigation is warranted in this case also. And moreover, this is an eye-opener for allowing factories to open post-lockdown. Because when the central government has given guidelines for opening of different manufacturing units all over the country, it did not segregate between the engineering units, chemical units, pesticide units, something like that. They are generally given guidelines regarding the practices to be adopted. But I think the problem here in this LG case also, as explained by the company officials at least till now, they said the gas which is at around 18,000 tons which was lying there, and whereas the capacity was 24,000, and since it was a prolonged period of 40 days shutdown, the accumulation of gas has taken place, and then the wall could not hold it. This could happen for any other chemical unit.
So obviously, so you kind of prove the point. Had there been a skilled person inside, he would have known that this may happen. Mr. Sarangi, do you feel that all of this should be a subject matter of investigation? I mean, it's a no-brainer. If a plant is lying shut for 40 days, you have to carry a thorough check before kicking the machines back on. Now, a trained workforce would think along these lines.
It's a certified company, so there should be a standard operating procedure for that.
Okay. Yes.
Shutdown plan should be put in place. Otherwise, these sort of accidents keep on recurring. They're taking the lives of the people.
Okay, I've run out of time. Mr. Satyanath Sarangi, Kutum Rao, as well as Desh Ratan Nigam, a lot of interesting points discussed here. Let us hope history has repeated itself in the form of this gas leak. Let us hope that the fight for justice is not as long as Bhopal 1984 and the similarities end right here. Good night and goodbye.